This is News 25 with Deanna O'Donnell. News 25, local news you can count on. News is brought to you by J.K. Nelson Law. Give them a call, 727-9900.
Welcome to News 25 here on KPVM TV and Ace Country Radio. Today is Wednesday, March 23rd. Well, a Pahrump man is facing a half dozen felony charges after detectives reviewing old cases discover a reason to suspect him of several offenses. Brad Francis has more.
John Van Meter has been booked into the Nye County Detention Center on 2 counts of using a credit or debit card or ID without consent, 2 counts of exploitation of an older or vulnerable person, 1 count of grand larceny, and 1 count of obtaining money, property, or labor by false pretense. Earlier this year, a Nye County Sheriff's Office detective was assigned an old case to review. On November 13, 2018, a Pahrump woman filed a police report telling authorities Van Meter had drained her joint account with her late husband without their permission. Because the names of the victims are redacted from the police report, it's unclear how or if Van Meter is related to them. As part of the second look, the detective reviewed bank statements the victim provided back in 2018. From July 2017 to October 2018, more than $23,000 was withdrawn from the couple's checking and savings accounts. Detectives spoke with the victim in January. She confirmed Van Meter did not have permission to withdraw from their accounts or use their debit cards. The victim told police she didn't keep track of the accounts until she was notified of possible fraud in August 2018. Earlier this month, detectives located Van Meter and spoke with him. According to the arrest report, Van Meter admitted to using the victim's cards, but claimed he had permission to use them, telling officers the matter had already been settled in court and the charges were dropped. Van Meter went on to tell detectives he had been avoiding them about this matter because he had a warrant for failure to appear. Van Meter was placed under arrest for the warrant and taken to jail. The detective assigned to review the case confirmed with the court that this matter had not been resolved. At that point, Van Meter was booked on the new counts related to the old case.
Thanks so much, Brad. Well, the Nye County Sheriff's Office is reporting that they responded to a vehicle crash this morning on U.S. Highway 95, right there outside the Clown Motel. They say that Nye County Sheriff's Office deputies, as well as Nevada Highway Patrol, Tonopah Ambulance, and Animal Control arrived on scene. There was no serious injuries. All declined to be transported as a result of this crash. And that SUV also hit a fixed object, being that sign that is involved. This was involving a semi-truck versus an SUV. Well, a neighbor's call to police ends with the arrest of 2 men now facing charges related to what authorities say was an illegal marijuana grow. Brad Francis has more.
Edmond, Tatian, and Edgar Gregorian have been booked into the Nye County Detention Center after Nye County Sheriff's Office deputies discover a marijuana cultivation room inside a Pahrump home. Deputies were dispatched to 1410 West Huckleberry Street for a possible narcotics-related offense after someone called to say the residents of that home were possibly growing large amounts of marijuana. The reporting party described seeing people come and go from the house and said there were tubes running into the home. Officers met with Tatian, who owns the property. He denied the allegation. When officers asked if they could look inside the residence, Tatian denied their request. A detective arrived on scene and noticed an odor of marijuana coming from the garage. Tatian allowed officers inside the garage, where they observed a large number of potting containers, boxes of fans, and a small amount of raw marijuana on the floor. Tatian said they were growing marijuana for personal use. Tatian also advised he did not have a medical marijuana card. Officers asked again if they could search the residence. This time, Tatian allowed them to enter a portion of the home. Inside, they observed numerous containers of chemicals and could hear the sound of fans coming from an area of the home that was blocked by a dead-bolted door. Deputies say they could also smell a strong odor of raw marijuana inside the home. Officers detained Tatian and Gregorian, who were inside the residence, and seized the home in anticipation of a search warrant. After getting the warrant, officers entered the area behind the locked door, where they discovered what they describe as a marijuana cultivation room. Deputies located more than a dozen marijuana plants that had been dried and packaged for sale in black trash bags. Tatian and Gregorian were placed under arrest, each on 1 count of unlawful production or processing of marijuana and 1 count of conspiracy to violate the Controlled Substance Act. Tatian also faces 1 count of operating a place for the sale, gift, or use of marijuana.
And we do have some ticket giveaways that we are working right now. We have 50 tickets for an event called the Mint Collective. This is a sports collectible show at the MGM Grand in Las Vegas. That is happening this weekend. Kids under 12 are free, but we have 50 tickets to give away. And if you would like a ticket, you can give us a call, 775-727-9400, extension 201. You can even stop by the KPVM TV here on Higley Road. That's 890 South Higley, anytime during business hours until Friday night. And we'll tell you a little bit more about that at the end of our newscast. We'll have more news right after this break.
You're watching News 25, the most recognized and farthest reaching local news in Nye County. News 25, local news you can count on. This segment of the news is brought to you by Sunset Valley Pools. For quality service and supplies, call 775-513-4114.
Welcome back. Valley Electric Association is making it easier for members to voice their concerns. In addition to the annual meeting for all members, VEA is holding smaller district meetings to create a more one-on-one experience and save money. Valley CEO Mark Stallion explains.
What we decided to do was have a little more time on the district meeting to start it at I believe it's 2 in the afternoon, and the business meeting is at 5. And to make it more, to simplify it.
Yeah.
Don't make it a big show. Don't make it a big to-do. Make it one-on-one conversations for several hours where people can come and go. If you can't be there at 5, come at 2. If you can't be there at 2, come at 5. To give people choices and options. And to make it more one-on-one, where the directors can talk with the members, where if a member wants to talk with me, that we can have those conversations and make it more convenient, make it more simple, and quite frankly, reduce the cost. And not have a big to-do, a big show, keep it family, keep it small, keep it oriented to just common people talking face to face. And so what we did was we said, let's take some of what we do at the annual meeting and take it to the district meeting so that they have a choice of going to the district meeting and engaging with us and having conversation with us and the ability to ask whatever questions they want to ask, right? And then let's have the annual meeting, instead of doing it at the high school and making it a big show, let's bring it to the VCC, and that's going to start earlier in the day, over a longer period of time, so that people can come in the morning, they can come at lunch, they can come in the afternoon, and the business meeting, if I remember right, I think it's 3 o'clock or 3:30, one of the two. It'll all be on the website. It's all going to be publicized. Part of the change in the district meeting and the annual meeting is managing our costs and doing the best we can so that when we see $5 million increase in power supply in a given year, we don't pass it all on. In fact, the $5 million we saw last year, we ate it. We absorbed it. And the next $5 million, or 4.2, we're going to have to pass on. But we're going to absorb as much as we can, and we're going to continue to look and fight for ways to reduce our costs and to save money.
Well, you can find more information, including a schedule for the district meetings, on VEA's website at vea.coop. The annual full membership meeting is June 17th at the Valley Conference Center here in Pahrump on Highway 372. Well, First Choice Pregnancy Center here in Pahrump is celebrating another successful dessert auction. The annual event raises money for the center so that it can continue its mission to help local families. CEO Nancy Irwin says a lot of the items up for bid this year were made by kids.
We had at least 50 cakes and pies and cupcakes and cookies to auction off today. This is South Valley Baptist Church, where I attend, and we weren't quite sure if we would have room this year at the center, so they kind enough let me have the church to do our dessert auction this year. We had 10 kids this year, which is very unusual. We've had children in the previous years, but it's only been just a handful.
Yeah.
So we were really excited to see what the turnout was today. Some of these kids are I think they're the future pastry chefs. We had Sugar and Spice that's locally here. We had Dairy Queen, Porta Subs. We're just really thankful that they participated again this year. And then we also had the Cheesecake Factory and the Sugar Cookie Company from Las Vegas. Ron Chase, he's been auctioning the desserts for the last 5 years, minus COVID. But yeah, he does a great job.
You said that you're out of diapers there at the center. Tell me a little bit about that.
Yes, we're totally out of size 6 diapers. It must be that time of year where parents are training their children, and it's the diapers that size that we go through a lot. We're open Monday through Thursday, 12 to 4. Wednesdays are from 10 to 4, and we would gladly take diapers and wipes. What we're really needing, though, is we're needing to get ready for the fall festival, and we need receiving blankets. The blankets are to be used on a changing table, and because of health reasons, we cannot reuse them. So what we do is we give the parents a gift. We give them that receiving blanket. So anyone that knows how to sew receiving blankets, we would gladly love to have you help us out in that area. We are at 1501 East Calvada Boulevard, the second medical building in the back next to the helicopter pad. Our phone number is 775-751-2229.
Well, First Choice Pregnancy Center says that they earned $3,400 at this year's dessert auction. For more information about the services available at First Choice Pregnancy Center or to make a donation, just head to pregnancyperrump.com. They also have a Facebook page that you can look up, as well as just stopping by their offices right there on Calvada Boulevard next to the PMC Medical Center in the back. All right, well, this weekend is the Chile Cook-Off, and we're so excited that it is back because it took a year off for COVID, and so the International Chili Society and the Silver State Chili Cook-Off is happening this weekend at Petrick Park at the corner of Basin and Highway 160. It's all going to be March 26th and 27th. You want to come on by definitely and get involved in that. You can get chili tasting coupons and taste everybody's chili. You can even vote for People's Choice, and of course, my daughter and mine, we're going to have our chili there. Once again, it's called Ours is Better Than Theirs Chili. And so lots of booths, lots of fun. There's even going to be a beard and mustache competition, which is an event all in itself. And on Saturday night, there's going to be a concert in McCullough Arena, which is right behind Petrick Park. The band Seattle's Best is going to be playing Rock for a Cause to benefit Nye County School District and Disabled American Veterans Chapter 15 and the Pediatric Brain Tumor Foundation. Once again, that's March 26th at 8 p.m. at the McCall Arena. You can buy your tickets now at the Butterfly Effects website, and that's a nonprofit organization. We want to thank Kelly Slater from the Bearded Lady. She's putting that on this year, so for more information, of course, you can contact her as well. News 25 will return on the other side of this break.
You're watching News 25, brought to you by Mountain West Lawyer, Injury Attorneys, 727-9500. News 25, local news you can count on.
Well, it is important to have children properly restrained inside a moving vehicle. A child safety or booster seat that's improperly installed can put a child at increased risk for injury in a crash. That's where Nye Communities Coalition comes in. This weekend, they're holding a car seat safety event to better explain the proper use and care of child safety seats. Jess Rosner is a car seat instructor at Nye CC.
This weekend on Saturday, March 26th from 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. in the Pahrump Valley Nugget parking lot, we will be checking car seats and helping replace them with new ones if you need it. About 75% of seats have at least one error. It could just be that it's installed a little too loose. Maybe the chest clip is in a slightly wrong position, or maybe they need to be in a slightly different seat. The state law changed as of January 1st of this year. Now you need to be in a rear-facing seat until 2 years old, and then you need to be in some sort of car seat until they're 6 years old and 4'9", whether that's a booster or a regular forward-facing seat. So we're going to have staff there available that can check those seats and install it with a brand new seat if needed. The plastic will degrade over time, so There's a manufacturer sticker on there. There's a date that says when it was made. There's sometimes a date that says when it expires. If not, the rule of thumb is it's good for 6 years. And if it's been in a crash, it's also usually no good. There is no fee for it at all. It's paid for through grants, starting off with the Office of Traffic Safety through the state of Nevada. We also have a grant with Buckle Up for Life, and they're partnered with Toyota. And then we also have a grant through AAA, and then we also, through Nye County Health and Human Services, get some CSBG funds that also allow us to buy car seats.
Thanks so much, Jess. Well, if you have any questions about this weekend's car seat safety event, you can call Jess Rosner at Nye Communities Coalition at 775-727-9970 or visit their website at nycc.org. Well, working from home can be stressful. Suddenly, your personal and professional life has blended together, which can create all kinds of new challenges.
People often experience burnout when they feel like things are out of control, when they have a lot of stressors and they do not feel like their needs are being taken into account, or they don't feel like they can do something about the stressors. So burnout just isn't about the volume of the workload. It's about how much control the worker feels like they have.
So what can you do if you're feeling burned out? Don Potter, who is a psychologist for a Cleveland clinic, says it's important to set boundaries while working from home. For example, you may be tempted to check your emails after your shift or finish up a project, but you really should try to unplug for the night. It can also help to create a designated office space in your house to limit any distractions. And don't forget to take some time for yourself during the day. If you used to go to the gym but can't anymore, consider going for a walk or a bike ride on your lunch break. Finally, don't be afraid to let your supervisor know if you're struggling.
I think the COVID pandemic has really caused us to have to be more creative in the way we take care of ourselves, the way we socialize with other people, the way we work, and the way we stay connected. And so to manage burnout, the same sort of creativity and flexibility is required.
She says it's normal to feel stressed about work sometimes, but if it's starting to become a major disruption to your life, you should talk to a medical professional.
News 25 WeatherCam is brought to you by Lerner and Rowe Injury Attorney's Office in Pahrump. In a wreck, need a check? Call 702-877-1500.
Well, it's a beautiful, clear day today, and not a bunch of wind. A little warm, and it's going to get a little bit warmer. John's going to tell us about that after the break.
News 25 weather is brought to you by Dairy Council of Nevada. The splash of cream in your coffee, the dollop of sour cream on your burrito, the melted toasty cheese on your pizza. Undeniably delicious, undeniably dairy. Enjoy what's real.
Hi, good evening, Nevada. It's John Kohler from the KPVM Channel 25 Weather Studios, and what a weather map we have for you today. Look at this. Everything's up in the 70s, mid-70s in Fernley, Fallon, and Carson City, low 70s out there in Tonopah. In fact, that's our cool spot. It's just 70 scant degrees. Back to the mid-70s, Goldfield, Beatty, Amargosa's at 79. That was the hot spot, so everybody's within 9 degrees of each other. Look at us go. It's like a team effort. Out in Death Valley, 89 degrees, but here on the Paradise of Pahrump, well, let's take a look. 77, yeah, that's our current temperature, and that was the high today. You are experiencing it now. Enjoy. Carpe that diem. Southwesterly winds to 5 miles per hour as the sun rose in all its glory. Hope and promise this morning at 6:43. I thought, when will it set? How about 6:58? Sounds pretty good. A couple more minutes of daylight. Yeah, that's a win. A low tonight of 51 degrees. The winds gently out of the east to 5 miles per hour. That humidity kicking up. You think maybe there's some clouds in our feature? Maybe not tomorrow, but looks like the next 3, 4, 5 days feature some clouds. And in fact, on Monday, look at this. Let's take a look at the early part of coming into the weekend. Wow, we've got 90-degree temperatures Friday, Saturday, dipping down a little bit as the winds pick up on Sunday and Monday. It looks like we have a rain event. Could be a gully washer, 34%. We're going to keep an eye on that. But those temperatures dropping out of the sky to the upper 60s and then returning to fighting trim next couple days as those winds calm down. And so we'll keep an eye on that Monday storm activity and let you know if anything really scary develops. But in the meantime, back to the desk. Here's Deanna.
Going to have to start wearing a lot more sunscreen, I see. But that's good weather for this weekend's event. And once again, we told you about the Chile cook-off. But next weekend, also the weather looks like it's going to be really good for the Pahrump Music Festival, which starts on March 31st. They're going to have Petty and the Heart Shakers, 3 Lock Box, which is the ultimate Sammy Hagar experience. For more information, you can go to PahrumpMusicFestival.com. There's going to be a carnival, a car show, beer and wine garden. April 1st is going to be Idol X, Zoe Bowie, DJ Liz Clark, and Count 77. And on the 2nd, you're going to have South of Graceland, which is opening the show. John Michael Ferrari, our local here, with Aldine McGraw and Church, and this is going to be a great event. For more information, PahrumpMusicFestival.com. Of course, this event is free. There's going to be so many things to do. It's going to all be happening at Petrick Park, right there on the corner of Basin and Highway 160. For more information, go on their website. Well, that's going to wrap up this edition of News 25. I'm Deanna O'Donnell from all of us here at KPVM TV and Ace Country Radio. Have a great night. We'll see you back here tomorrow.